Why do we procrastinate? Why do we procrastinate before a big test or a big project at work? Why do so many people self-medicate with drugs and alcohol? Or simply, why can't we put down that donut and stick to a diet? Well, in short, it's because these are all self-sabotaging behaviors. Okay, excuse me, what's self-sabotage? Yes, so that's what we're going to try to understand today. Self-sabotage is any behavior that is either conscious or unconscious, which is on purpose or not knowing you're doing on purpose, that is harmful to your physical, emotional, and mental health. Or simply put, it's any behavior that harms the things you care about. That can be that you care about your goals or your relationships or your success. So now that's the what of self-sabotage. But now let's talk about, why do we do it? Why do we intentionally or unintentionally harm ourselves? There's two surface reasons that we self-sabotage. One is the fear of failure, and the other one is the fear of success. Fear of failure comes in when you're studying for a big test, and you're really studying those books, and you know that if you study and you get that knowledge in your head and you're reading those books and you're making flashcards and you're doing everything you can to learn that information, and you take that test and you crush it, you did great. But what happens when you do all that hard work, and you still get a bad score? Well, that's a little bit harder for your self-esteem to deal with. Because then it goes from, oh, I'm super smart, I aced this test, it goes to, I'm not smart enough. I did everything I could and I still got a bad grade. And so what do? We procrastinate. We push it off. We say, oh, I'll study later. That way when the big test comes and the bad score arrives, then we're able to turn to the trusty, oh, well, if I had studied, I would have done great. It's just because I procrastinated it. I'm still smart though. And you can move on comfortably. It's a bad habit, but it's a self-sabotaging behavior because it hinders your success. Another example is from the life of Scrooge. I just read Christmas Carol because I'm filming this after Christmas. Now, Scrooge, he had his life pretty well set up to be pretty happy and successful. In his younger years, he was in a relationship with a great woman, and he was pretty successful. But the problem came in that he has a fear of abandonment, in my opinion. So as his relationship started to get good, then a deep fear started to arise, which was that all the good things in his life are going to go away. All the good people in his life will abandon him. And so he engaged in self-sabotage behavior. He started to focus on money. His fiance tells him that an idol has replaced her, a golden one. And that becomes Scrooge's life, is focusing on money and pushing people out before they can push him out. Now, Scrooge, he has a fear of success, which is ironic because in financial terms, he's very successful. But in every other aspect of his life, extremely poor. And so that's kind of the two fundamental reasons that we self-sabotage. Either we fear to fail, because then that will hurt our self-esteem, or we fear to succeed because we feel deep down that for whatever reason it may be, we don't deserve that success. If you're struggling with self-sabotaging behavior, there's a lot of ways that you can get help, whether that just goes to different books that there are written on self-sabotage, or whether it be talking to a friend who you trust, or best yet, talking to a mental health expert, whether that's a psychologist or a therapist. Seek the help you need because you deserve it.